What is going on? What is going on? You already know who it is. I'm your boy Warren G, the place to be. Been clowning sucker free since 2003. You can't finesse me, niggas. Shout out to everybody that's at the Core Plantation right now. It is Christmas Eve in this bitch. Look, niggas. Shout out to all of you niggas out here doing last minute shopping. Shout out to all you niggas that ain't got no money to do no last minute shopping. Shout out to the niggas that's doing last minute shopping for some pussy hole. Shit, I think I'm gonna just slide on through and let me see if I can get my bitch a little bracelet or something. Hey man, how much that cost, man? Oh, that costs about $200. Hey man, ooh man, that's a little steep. Y'all got a little discount or something, man? I'm trying to get something for my baby boo. You feel me? Shout out to them niggas too. Man, hey, what's going on? MEW, I see you. WO666. What's going on with you? Man, there's so much shit going on. Shout out to everybody that's just at the Core Plantation trying to make it through the day. Right now, I'm drinking elderberry tea, man. I'm out of sea moss. I gotta get some more. I gotta get it cracking. Shit. But man, shout out to everybody out there that's handling business. If you're at the Core Plantation trying to make it do what it do, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that's aware that just because it's the holidays don't mean that racism goes away. Hey. Shout out to all the motherfuckers. I would say that is very aware that the system of racism and white supremacy is an institution, and we got to team up to destroy this shit and replace it and establish a system of justice. Shout out to all the motherfuckers that's at the Core Plantation right now getting ready to slap the shit out of a European. I pray for y'all, man. I call upon the ancestors. Shout out to all my niggas that is looking and thinking and reciting Dirty Bookman's prayer. Because like he said, their God asked them to commit crimes against us. Shit. That is not our God. So shout out to them. Shout out to all my entrepreneurs that's trying to handle business and make it do what it do. If you're making food or if you're making bracelets, whatever it is, man, just hustling to the fullest and support black businesses, man, because we don't know how long they're gonna be around, and we gotta stay focused and locked in. Hey, shout out to all my niggas that's out there right now that's trying to come out here to Las Vegas. It's cold as motherfucker out here. They fucking with the weather on some chemtrails type shit, on some seed and clouds type shit. It was 75 degrees the other day. Then it dropped to like 30. Stop. Then they want to come out. Oh, the numbers are spiking. Fuck out of here. Hey. Shout out to all my niggas that's out there that's finessing your way through life. Let me tell you something. Finessing don't got no 401k, nigga, or no stock, or no bonds, or no retirement plan, nigga. So you can only finesse so long before you have to get up and do something. Hey. Shout out to all my motherfuckers that's very aware of what's going on in their surroundings, and they are reading as we speak. Hey. While you at that court plantation, let me tell you something. Go get this book. Go order it. 2 Nations. Just go check it out. And be very, very, I would say subjective. Don't be objective. Just be subjective. Check this book out. That was 2 Nations. The World's Great Men of Color by J.A. Rogers. I'm going to say, hey, y'all niggas need to go read this shit. It's a very, very good book. I was reading I don't know if I was reading another. Yeah, I'm reading The Destruction of a Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. I'm reading that. I'm rereading that. Because some of the stuff that I learned in this book is in that book. So that's why I'm rereading that. Hey, and if you think that law enforcement really got your back, which we're going to talk about today, go get the book, The Burglary. Now, that's the book of Eli. Go get this book. Go get this book, and then it's going to tell you all you need to know about law enforcement and how much on your side you think that they are. Go get the book. Book of Eli. And for all you niggas that think that the white man is God and that the white man created religion and all this white man shit and all this white man shit, because, you know, they gave it to you, so you want to go with that. I would suggest you go read The Matrix of Power by Jordan Maxwell. Go read that book. He breaks down laws. He breaks down all the shit that came from Africa. So go get this book. Hey. Go get that book by Jordan Maxwell. Oh, he's a Caucasian too, by the way, because you know niggas don't like to listen unless it's a white person talking. That's why niggas love 10 wives. Niggas love 10 wives, but anytime it's a black folk talking, niggas hating on them. Always trying to find some shit wrong with them. But when it's 10 wives, nigga, 10 wives go hard though. Jane Elliott go hard though. And then Jane Elliott was the main one talking about reparations. What about the Native Americans? Yeah, I bet you motherfuckers ain't talking about Jane Elliott no more. Fuck out of here. Shout out to all my niggas that's at the corporate plantation, staying focused, using that money as a tool to get through the day. Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, it's expensive as a motherfucker out here in Vegas, man. Vegas used to be cheap. Shit, used to be able to take out $100 out the bank. And that $100, you can take a girl on a date, take her to the movies, take her to a restaurant, still have about $40 left over, $50 left over. Now, nigga, this bitch talking about... This bitch talking about, nah, fuck that. I want to go to laundries and all this other bullshit. Like, wait, hold on, bitch. So you got to show me some pussy hole before we go to that motherfucker. Shit. But anyway, shout out to all my motherfuckers that's out there fighting this COVID. Hey, man, get you some elderberry tea, man. It's very, very, very imperative that you do that. Hey. All right, man, we about to get into it. Hey. Man. The holidays ain't nothing nice, man. Motherfuckers be thinking like, oh, man, it's the holidays and all this other shit, nigga. You better get your shit together and brainstorm and see how you can come up with new and inventive ideas for yourself, not for everybody else. You like, why you say that, Warren? Because it's true. The reason why I say that shit, too, is I just sipped the rest of my tea. The reason why I say that shit too is because motherfuckers be thinking that this shit is like a game or something like oh man, it's gonna go away. No, nigga, shit's never going away. Reading this article today. That's why I said holidays. Reading this article today. I was reading this article today on Raymond Sykes and Kayla Boulware. This is a black couple that was traveling, I think, to North Carolina, and they got pulled over. And from what I'm reading, they their kid, I think their kid got taken away or something. So here, I'll read it. Two parents were reunited with their son on Monday after several weeks apart, having been pulled over during a traffic stop that went south in Troy, North Carolina. Raymond Sykes and Kayla Boulware, a couple from New Jersey, were driving to Florida to visit a relative. On the night of the 3rd of December, when they were pulled over, New Jersey Advanced Media reported they were stopped because of suspicious driving. According to the official law enforcement account, which doesn't match those of Mr. Sykes and Ms. Boulware told NJ Advanced Media that they were stopped because of a broken taillight and that they peacefully complied with orders, alleging that the officers pulled out their guns and beat Mr. Sykes with a baton. The law enforcement account says neither Ms. Boulware nor Mr. Sykes was harmed. A picture on the GoFundMe page for the family showed Mr. Sykes holding up his arm, revealing a large bruise. Law enforcement claim Mr. Sykes hit one of the officers. Nah, miss, stop. Law enforcement claims Mr. Sykes hit one of the officers and that the car smelled of marijuana. Here we go with this bullshit. Reasonable suspicion. They just pull you over anything and say, oh, it smells like crack. Sprinkle a little crack on them, just like Dave Chappelle used to say. The couple now face misdemeanor charges in North Carolina. Both of them are on drug possession charges. Ms. Boulware for minor traffic violations and Mr. Sykes for resisting a public officer and assault of government official. They were handcuffed and put in separate cars, and their 9-month-old Truth was taken into custody, writes New Jersey Advanced Media. Damn. The GoFundMe page set up for a friend of Ms. Boulware's, Taisha Brunson, has raised more than $30,000 for the family. Brunson wrote on the page on December 21, I have raised the amount of $30K because rather than being dismissed, Truth's case is being transferred to New Jersey Child Services. Why? I don't know. The couple also have to defend the charges for the arrest where Raymond was assaulted by the sheriff. They may have to travel back to North Carolina for that. This is madness. Wow. I turned around and the guns were drawn at me, at my back, and the only reason why I'm alive is because my hands were up. Now, I'm gonna see if I can find some audio of that, but god damn, man. And that's true, man, because they automatically just take your kid in. And see, here's the thing. It does not matter what you do. They could have been driving that car and had holy water in the car. They'd have been like, oh, this is water heroin. So you're under arrest. Guilty, nigga. It doesn't matter what you say or what you do. They could have been both priests. They could have been a part of the church. They could have been any, still would have got pulled over. Let me tell you why. Because you are black and white America. We need to stop thinking because it's the holidays, we can just kind of travel unsafe. Every time I drive, man, I'm even more alert, especially when you don't have your radio on. When you have your radio on, you kind of relax because you listen to the radio. But when you don't have your radio on, you kind of alert and look at every fucking thing. And that was the main thing that I kind of noticed. I just kind of watch and I'm aware of everything. I watch how police tailgate people and get behind people and pretend like they running the place. They ain't really running your place. They just pulling you over and doing what the fuck they want to do. And the reason why they doing what the fuck they want to do is because they can. As Dr. Claude Anderson teaches, they simply kill you because they can. That's why. So while you thinking that, oh, no, yeah, nigga. That's what's really happening. And don't think that shit is going to change because it's not going to change. At all. I'm telling you. Let me see if I can find something. Raymond Sykes. Let's see if we can find some video footage. Let's see. Nah, this is just the video. It's not. I don't even think this was on the news. Yeah, this is a. Yeah, because there's pictures. You can go look at it online. He got his ass whooped. Yeah, he got his ass whooped. Yeah, they don't really have none. They just got pictures of them, which they need to go to the news. Young black couple, you know what I'm saying, moderately young, and they were just doing what they need to do, and they got pulled over. And the thing that trips me out the most about the situation is that ain't gonna get no fucking media attention. You know what's gonna get media attention? Petitions being signed for George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, which don't nobody give a fuck about. You can keep saying her name all you want, but these white folks don't give a fuck about that. They change laws. They don't care about you whining and repeating and marching and all this bullshit. They don't care. And another thing I was reading, too, I read this article about black folk, how they was like, okay, since we voted for Joe Biden, we expect more from you or some shit like that. You know, like basically he was like, oh, I got your back now. Man, please, Joe Biden ain't got y'all back. Joe Biden's niece just got off for a DUI. Now, how does she get off for a DUI, but these black folk got arrested because allegedly he assaulted an officer? They always say that. If you resist arrest, that's what they gonna do. You might as well just stop arguing with the police officers, let them handcuff you, let them do what they gotta do, and then you fight them in court. Because, nigga, they gonna use it. Oh, gun, or he's resisting his arrest and beat the fuck out of you. Trust and believe you me. I really think in my heart of hearts, man, that black folk, I would say a lot of us are awakened. I was just watching The Matrix the other day. I think I'm gonna get ready to watch that again. Black folk are awakened, but a lot of us are cipher. We don't want to wake up. We want to take both the pills. We want to take the red pill, but then we want to take the blue pill too. You know what I'm saying? We want to wake up a little bit, but then again, we want to go back to sleep. When it's too much that we can't, I just rather go back to sleep. You know what I mean? And that's exactly why they doing what the fuck they doing. That's why they able to come in and gentrify the neighborhood. Black folk be all with that shit. They don't give a fuck about this shit. Let me tell you something, man. If you think that the dominant white society is more concerned about black folk than black folk are concerned about themselves, y'all motherfuckers are sadly mistaken. They don't give a fuck about no niggas. And how many times niggas gotta say that shit? That's why I be laughing. Too, you know why I be laughing? Motherfuckers be like, they think you could be having a fucked up day and the motherfucker be thinking that, man, happy holidays, like that's gonna cheer you up. What the fuck you mean happy holidays? Nigga, this is some shit y'all made up. This is a controlled environment that y'all made. Okay, now it's okay for y'all to be happy. So go ahead and be happy. But then again, how am I gonna be happy when I'm broke? I don't got no bread. And the little bread that I do have gotta go on bills. Like I talked about in the last motherfucking podcast. Like, what the fuck can I do with $600? Nigga, when your bills is way higher than $600, but they don't give a fuck. And it's always, every time we start specifically talking about black folks' plight and the things that black folk need, why is it always some bootlicking Uncle Tom Sambo telling about the gun line boss Django ass nigga always trying to talk about, oh, well, we got to move past that? It's always somebody like that because they are so great at dividing and conquer. All you got to do is just give, look, let me tell you something. All these people that's marching, want and repeat, if the government wants to do a real experiment, they can drive a Brinks truck right in the middle of that fucking march and protest and just get a fan and blow out $100,000. Watch how they'll disrupt that fucking protest. Because niggas are not organized. Niggas are not organized. But and they know that. That's why a lot of things they kind of just allow to go on because they know niggas ain't gonna do shit but march, want, and repeat and go and lay down on the 95 freeway or the 15 freeway until motherfucking police come and arrest everybody, and motherfuckers be like, well, fuck that, I ain't getting arrested no more. Niggas know what it is. I just think we don't know what it is. I think we more confused about the situation than anybody else. Why you say that, Warren? Because why would you not be concerned about things like this? Now, these people was traveling to North Carolina, they get pulled over because I smell weed in the car. Then after you smell weed in the car, of course, you must have gotten into a tussle with the brother. The brother probably was upset and pissed off. Oh, now you got weed in the car, so now you're under arrest. Now your baby's getting taken to Child Haven, wherever, Child Protective Services and shit. And then now you got to go fight that case. Now you got to go get an attorney to fight the other shit. Now, who the fuck got that type of bread? They know that. That's why they be hiding behind those laws. Most police officers, they don't even know laws. They know policies. And most police stereotypes. They don't police people. And the police are the gatekeepers for the wealthy. Trust and believe you me. Most policemen, they are ex-Marines and ex-Navy SEALs and ex-whatever, but they ain't got no bread. That's why they choose to be a police officer, because of the sense of power. Because you notice a lot of these people that are police officers, they didn't make it in high school. They wasn't no star athlete. They probably didn't get no bitches. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, this is easy bread, and I get a chance to do what I want and practice my anti-black racism at that. Because when I was watching this documentary on this brother, I forgot his name, out of Boston, the main character, the main police officer, he acted just like Officer Foley from Hoodlum. He just was a racist motherfucker. He's fucking black women, but locking up niggas. Remember that. That's why you don't be thinking, oh yeah, they cool. No, they not. Y'all better look. When y'all look around, go ahead and go spend y'all money with all these motherfucking people. Go ahead. Jump in line and be fighting motherfuckers to get to a cell so you get your kids something that you know you can't afford to get them. So you can be broke next year. Because I know what everybody waiting on. Well, shit, if I could just make it to tax time, I'll be good. I know what the fuck niggas is doing, man. I've been down this road already. I already know what the fuck it is. Niggas just go hard to tax time. After tax time, motherfuckers be like, all right, cool. Now it's time for me to buy a new whip and get rims and Gucci and Louis and Fendi and all this other shit. That's I would say a lot of the reason why black folks are not respected, because we're so divided. No, we don't know how to come together. Put that religion to the side. Put your philosophical beliefs to the side. Let's come together as a people. They locking up motherfuckers left and right. It's so funny how I talked about how Donald Trump was just pardoning his homeboys left and right. You get a pardon. You get a pardon. You get a... Oh, all my homeboys that was corrupt while I was in office, I'm about to pardon all these niggas. Because he's on code. But when it comes to black folks and you be like, hey, man, well, why didn't Barack Obama pardon more people? He could have pardoned Motulu Shakur. He could have pardoned Assata Shakur so she can come back. Take her off the FBI list. No, you ain't do that shit. Because, nigga, you were not there for black folk. You were there for white folks. Specifically, white Jewish people. That's who you were there for. You and your good buddy, Rahm Emanuel, who hid that fucking videotape of Laquan McDonald being assassinated. But motherfuckers, but look at who Joe Biden putting back in office. Rahm Emanuel. That's why all the bootlegging, butter biscuit eating niggas, you know, Keisha Lamami Bottoms and all these other motherfuckers. Let me tell you something, man. I ain't trying to be funny or nothing. I was just thinking too the other day, man. I was talking to my brother. This nigga said some funny shit. He's like, Warren, do you think these white people don't know what they have done to black folk in the last 40 years? They know what the fuck is going on. That's why they'll never give back that power, because they know what the fuck it is. Very, very true. I'm telling you, man. Very, very imperative. You know, he said that to me, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He just was like, nigga, they'll never give that power back. What are you talking about? And as I'm reading The Destruction of a Black Civilization, it talks about how the Asiatic, well, the black man is the first Asiatic man, but then it breaks down how everybody, this is like the 3rd book or 4th book I've read. Oh, what's going on, Goddess Yemiya? Or Yamaya? Or my bad, I didn't want to say you. I said Yemiya. Damn, shit, motherfucker needs some goddamn contact lenses on. Yamaya, right? Okay, I hope it's Yamaya. Hey, what's happening? But, hey, in this book, it says the same thing that Dr. Claude Anderson talks about. How Hispanics, Latino, they all classify themselves as white. And how, you know, we have to understand when we're using these terms that the dominant white society has given us. I'll tell you like this. You know how we always be like, oh yeah, that's an Asian motherfucker. Well, you notice we only apply Asians to the Orient people. You know, the Chinese people, the Filipino people, the Pacific Island people, whatever. We'll call them Asian. When, yeah, my bad, black first, hey, B1, that's a fact. My bad, I ain't trying to, look, you know me, look, I never even look at that shit anyway. Niggas know I don't really be paying attention. Sometimes motherfuckers be like, hey man, look in the chat. But anyway, I'll tell you this. When like basically what I was saying, when you talk about an Asian motherfucker, you just assume it's a Chinese person or Korean or Filipino or something like Pacific Islander or something like that, Samoan or whatever. No. Nigga, Asia is a continent. So you got Turks, you got Pakistanians. All of them are Asian. They're Asian Americans too, which all classify as Caucasian. And then they try to split it. Oh, well, they're Arab. Well, Arab means nomad. You can look up the word. I would suggest a lot of people, man, y'all know what y'all need to start doing too? I learned this too, man. Y'all need to get this book right here. Just get a Black's Law, not a Black's Law dictionary, get that too, but get a etymology dictionary so you can see the origin of the words. I don't know if y'all can see that shit, clown ass camera and shit, but I'm just saying, go get that shit, man, because it really, really breaks down the words. And the reason why I say that is because they'll just classify anything. Just like the fourth book I've read, Two Nations, the book that I just read, the Two Nations book. Oh, it talks all about how it talks. This shit is funny. In Two Nations, I had to highlight that shit. I was laughing. This book was like, man, Hispanics, basically that's some made up shit by Europeans and they classify as white. Latino, all. First of all, I broke this down to one of my good brothers, my good Guatemalan brothers, cool brother. He be kind of on the knowledge too a little bit. He thinks outside the box a little bit. I said, bro, why do y'all speak? I was breaking it down to him. I was like, well, actually, that's not even your native tongue. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you speak Spanish, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, but you're not from Spain. So you're speaking a dialect, you have no idea where it comes from. I was like, Spaniards are Pau Gasol, Mark Gasol. Those are Spaniards. Spaniards is Cesare Borgia, Rodrigo Borgia, Lucrezia. Those are Spaniards, bro. You're not a Spaniard. And if you went over there with your skin almost the same complexion as mine, they'll look at you and be like, who the fuck are you? Just like this other brother I was talking to, where he was just like, oh, I was like, man, he was like, yeah, man, I want to go on vacation. I was like, yeah, where you want to go? He's like, yeah, I want to go to Spain. I was like, but why do you want to go to Europe and Spain? Like, why do you want to do that? And he was just like, oh, because it's nice. I was like, he's like, where you want to go? I said, I want to go to Africa and I want to go to Egypt and see what we built. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't care what they say. They could Greekify Egypt all they want. It talks about this book. It talks about it in the book I'm reading now, The Destruction of Black Civilization. I'm telling you how they try to Greekify the shit and how the Greeks called it Egyptos and all this other shit when really the first name was like Kim, and then it was split Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt, and then the Eurasians kind of came in and rest haven on the fucking continent, according to what I'm reading, because black folks weren't getting along, Moors weren't getting along, and they basically came in there and sought division. They saw the division. They was like, oh, we gonna come in here. Just like what white folks do to this day. They come in, they sow discord, they get niggas arguing and fighting, and then they get a nigga that I would say touts racism, white supremacy the most in such a co-opted way. That's the nigga that they get a racial showcasing confusion to. You need to go read that book, The Compensatory Account of Racist Code of Ethics by Neely Fuller Jr. As he was saying, I'm still learning. Y'all need to read that book, cold book, and how they dominate 9 areas of activity. And Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talks about that shit too, because I was like, as I'm reading this book, I'm starting to think around. I'm talking about when I was reading the Two Nations book, I'm just thinking like, damn, Dr. Claude Anderson was saying all this shit, because he was just like, basically Hispanics is they classify themselves as white. Everybody that comes over here classifies themselves as white. Everybody. Oh, what's up, Don Hoover? I need to look up. Oh, speak them facts, King. Oh, good looking, goddess. Hey, I'm not speaking facts. Look, let me tell you something. I'm still learning. Don't get it twisted. I'm still learning, and I'm not a cloud chaser. I try to tell niggas that, man. I was talking to my nephew and my sister too about this a couple weeks ago. I'm like, nigga, I'm not trying to have. Last time I said some crazy shit, man. They gave me a strike and was like, oh, we'll take your page. This was like a year ago. And I was like, God damn, I ain't even got no listeners. But that day just happened to be a hell of people in the chat. It happened to be that. And I was like, man, that's why I don't really be sending this shit to people like that. I'll send it to like black apps like Billy Carson's app or Boyce Watkins app, but I don't post nothing on Twitter. Twitter done took my Twitter like 3 times. I had to get like 3 different Twitters, man. Because I was calling niggas Sambos and coons and all this other shit. They was like, oh, you can't use that type of language. But what's so funny is, I'm going to tell y'all this. What's so funny is, when a motherfucker was on Twitter I've been on Twitter since 2011, 12. When I was on Twitter talking about fuck a bitch and bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, oh, nigga, I was getting retweets. They never took my page from my Twitter from me. I never got a strike. I never got in Twitter jail, nothing. but I'll tell you this. Hey, Merry Christmas to you too. I'll tell you this, but when I start talking that real black shit and native black shit and foundational black American shit, man, them niggas took my shit so quick. First they put me in Twitter jail for a day. Then the next time they put me in Twitter jail for like 2 weeks. Then after that, boop, your Twitter has now been taken. I was like, damn. Fuck out of here. Let me see. I need to look up the definition of Caucasian again. Keep it up, brother. Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to you too, bro. Hey, man. Look, I just want all y'all to be safe. I want everybody to read. Look, just do me a favor. And no, nigga, I'm not finna be on here on some church shit. You know how niggas be playing the music and they be want a nigga to give offering. As you can see, I have no super chat and I'm not ever putting up no Cash App. I don't even know what the fuck my Cash App is. I don't care. That's not important. Niggas is struggling right now. Niggas ain't got time for that shit. My Kamala here. Hey, speaking of, let me ask y'all a question. Why is it, and no diss to my sisters that are AKAs and sororities and all that, sorority and all that. Hey, I ain't tripping off my sororities and Alpha Chi, Alpha, no, hey, I'm not tripping off that. But as John Henry Clark teaches, that is, the Greeks took our shit, remixed it, and gave it back to niggas. That's what they did. It's just like when I was having this conversation the other day when I had to tell this white dude. I was like, where do you think geometry comes from? Let's just say math. Let's just break down math. And he was just like, oh, well, I think it came from like the Greeks. I was like, okay. I said, okay, let's just get more specific. Now y'all follow me. And he was just like, what you mean? I was like, here, we gonna get a little bit more specific, bro. And he was like, what you mean? I was like, okay, let's just take, and you know, I was setting him up for the whoop wop. I was like, let's just take Pythagoras for a second. He was like, who is that? I was like, Pythagoras. He's a Greek. The Pythagorean theorem? And he was just like, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's who made up math. I said, how could he make up math when there's no pyramids in Greece? Matter of fact, there's no pyramids in Europe, period. And he was like, well, what does the pyramids have to do with math? I said, if you look at the angles of the pyramids, those are 90 degree angles and shit. It's so precise how they built them, you would have to know math. You would have to know the ancient sciences. Yeah, exactly. A lot of math were algebra. If you look at al means the or the, and then jabra is equation. That's what it really means. You can look that up in etymology dictionary. But I'll tell you this right now. I was like, but he's like, but what does the pyramids have to do with it? I said, okay, let's get more specific. He was like, yeah, man, come on, get more specific, because I was taught that Pythagoras came up with math and the great, you know, that's the guy that's in the geometry books, which he's not lying, because it was in my geometry book too. I said, bro, I have 4 books that states that Pythagoras studied in ancient Kemet for 22 years, bro. And he was like, what is Kemet? I said, Egypt. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, of course. I said, yeah, but Kem, meaning the land of the blacks? Black folk? I said, I'm not talking about the Arabanized people that are there now who have taken over Egypt and taken claim of the pyramids as if they were the ones who built it when they know good and goddamn well they didn't. Stop. And he was like, well, what do you mean? I said, bro, have you ever heard of the Moors? They're responsible for math, science. And I was like, you kind of need to read up on that. I was like, but you would have to know your history. And I said, I don't claim to know a whole lot of nothing, but I do know this in the books that I have read. 4 of them states that he had studied math and all the ancient sciences in math and all that for 22 years in ancient Kemet. And you know, they were waiting years to get into the mystery schools because you had to be enlightened, and they, you know, us black folk at the time, we just wouldn't teach you our shit. We were very, very introverted with our knowledge back then. Yup. Al is also L. Exactly. A lot of, and let's not even get on L. L, the House of L, if you watch that, I think, what channel was that on? The House of L about Superman, when really it's just a pyramid upside down with a snake. L meaning Hebrew, Kal-El, Jor-El. Those are Hebrew names. Like I was like telling this dude that I was like, bro, but you know it's black people there, right? And he was like, well, I never heard of Egypt being Kim. I was like, the original name is Kemet, the land of the blacks. I said, bro, this is what white people named Kemet. They named it that. I said, because basically what they was doing, they was taking the knowledge and then they were writing the shit down. And you know, in hieroglyphs and shit. He was like, oh, okay. He's like, I didn't know that, bro. He's like, damn, you read? I was like, look, bro, I read 4 books. I said, and then one of my prized possessions, A Stolen Legacy, it just talks about how Pythagoras was over there studying in the mystery schools. And then when Alexander the Great, we like to call him the Greek because he's known for killing a whole bunch of black folk, raided the library of Alexandria. And then he took all the books and he started giving them to Plato and Socrates and all these people like, oh, here, you could just say it's your shit, basically. And that's what happened. And think about it, it only makes sense because Socrates, Aristotle, all that, where you think they got? That's why they're such great people in European culture and in European education. That's why everybody always quote Socrates or Aristotle or one of these motherfuckers. But then when you start talking about black folks, they want to liken slavery to us, but they don't want to liken those pyramids to us, which brings me back to my original point about talking to the Puerto Rican brother. And I just had to tell him too. I was like, well, while you over there in Spain and Europe, they gonna laugh at your ass because they don't even consider you're not a Spaniard. You're a Puerto Rican. You're not a Spaniard. You speak a dialect that's not even yours. I said, just like English from England. Yeah, stop. And he was like, he's just like, yeah, I you know, he's like, oh, well, I never thought about that. I said, of course, because you probably don't even consider yourself black. You consider yourself Puerto Rican, which is fine. That's what you want to do, be damn. But my thing is, I think it's imperative for black folk to start studying, reading as much as you can. If you got, I would say if you got a Kindle, read on Kindle. I can't read on Kindle. I'm blind as bad as it is. I couldn't even see Goddess's Yamaya's name. Look, I had to look at it, and I got contact lenses on. I said, God damn, I need to up my prescription type shit. And I didn't butcher her damn name, you know, but I think it's important that we read. I just read. I'm telling you, a long time ago, when Nuke was doing a podcast, shout out to Nuke too, when we was doing the podcast. It was me, Nuke, I think Tasha was in the chat, and I think Shawnee was in the chat. This was like a year and a half ago. And Shawnee was like, nah, just read the book. Don't get no audio, nothing. Because, you know, a lot of motherfuckers just do the audio. My thing is, I don't go that hard. Like this sister at my job. Beautiful sister, chocolate sister, beautiful. Fine. Fine as a motherfucker. Fine as cat here. Me and her got to talking, and I was like, man, you should check out this book, The ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. And she was like, what is it called? And she was like, I'm gonna get the audio version. I said, in the beginning, it's a little difficult because she starts talking about science and how she came up with her study and all this other stuff because she was a clinical psychiatrist. I said, but once you get past that, oh, the book is dope. And then she was listening and she came back to me immediately. She was like, damn, Warren, that book is crazy. I said, I told you, man. Fear of a Black Planet. You know what I'm saying? Genetic annihilation. Y'all niggas need to understand. Look, black folk will tell you you're going to hell because you don't want to go to their church, and then turn around and tell you to go vote for Hillary Clinton and Margaret Sanger was her hero. This is what niggas will do to you. That's why I be mad. Like, look, I be so upset with niggas because I be like, man, y'all got to look at what's going on. Like, when I get around my brothers and sisters and I talk about voodoo and voodoo, and I'm like, man, I can't wait. I want to go to Louisiana, man. I want to see a voodoo priestess and woo, 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 woo. And they be like, basically acting like those women that was on TV that one day. That's what really made me mad. Because these women, I forgot what the name of the show was, sisters, beautiful sisters on this show. And they went to Louisiana, and one of the sisters was like, we arguing so much, let's go see a voodoo priestess, right? So they walking in there, and right when they walking up there, the one sister started poking out her eyes and bucking her eyes. Her eyes don't do no voodoo. I wants to go to heaven. I'm like, it infuriated me so much because the voodoo priestess and the dude that knew the knot, he was a white man. And this is the problem. They study our shit while you up here going, victory, victory shall be mine. Help about shouting all this other shit, right? While you doing that, no diss. They behind closed doors calling to the black ancestors, drawing power from our religion, while y'all motherfuckers is using the religion that they gave you, where you drawing power from Cesare Borgia. I told this black lady that, she was like, oh, you go to church? I was like, no, I don't go to church. She was like, why not? I was like, cause I was raised in church and I just kind of like a lot of the stuff, that's not a part of my belief system anymore. I believe in the power of prayer and prayer changing things and us getting together and building something, but I don't believe in us being around each other and praying to Cesare Borgia. That's what I don't believe. I just don't believe that. I believe in praying to Dirty Bookman, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Mackendall. I believe in praying to the ancestors that put it down for us. You know what I'm saying? That made way, that gave us Ifa and Voodoo and Voodoo and Santeria and all this other shit. And, that sister just looked at me and was like, yeah, I don't really mess with none of that stuff. I was like, yeah, well, better you than me. You know what I mean? You know what? I think it's very imperative, too, that we have an understanding of who we are and where we come from, too. I think we so hard on each other. We don't want to support black business. It's the truth. Man, I've been supporting black business like a motherfucker. Nigga can't front on me. Nigga, I've been supporting Black and Noble. Shawnee already know. Shawnee is the one who put me on Black and Noble. I've been supporting Freedom Paper Company. Yes, I got toilet tissue from Freedom Paper Company. Oh yes, nigga, it goes down. Freedom Paper Company. I got stuff from my outright herbs. I was just telling my peoples about my outright herbs not too long ago. CMOS, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, you gotta do it because you don't know how long these businesses gonna be, around, man. Like real talk. Let me see. This is my first time watching you, King. You fire though, B1. Oh man, appreciate it. Hey, like I told you before. Matter of fact, W666, he already know this nigga. I've been fucking with him since I started doing this podcast. He know niggas do not look. Let me tell you something. I don't cloud chase on here. First of all, they'll take my page. I listen to. Let me tell you something. I listen to Tariq. I listen to Zoe. I listen to Umar. I listen to all of them. Dr. Boyce Watkins. I listen to Red Pill, Blue Pill. I listen to Black Magic 363 with Dr. Phil Valentine. I listen to so many podcasts because I'm still learning. I listen to Corey Holcomb. I listen to all kinds of podcasts, man. I listen to Professor Black Truth, the Black Authority. They dope. And I noticed with them, they gotta watch everything that they say because, which they're good at. They're very clever. And them brothers are intelligent, man. Like, them brothers are dope as fuck. Niggas just go fuck with them because, like, they get through a whole podcast, not cuss, not nothing. I can't do that. It's hard for me. Even though, I read my little books and shit, but I just feel like I probably wouldn't be relatable that way. And you know what I'm saying? As soon as we get Nuke back after this, after we figure out something, whether we have to get Nuke back on Skype or some shit, but I'm telling you right now, man, like, I ain't no cloud chaser. I used to say this in the very beginning. I think that's why Shawnee was probably one of the first people to watch, really. Shawnee and W0666, that nigga know. I said it before. I was like, nigga, I got a video on my page from like 2011, 2012. That shit got like 100,000 views. And it's some nigga shit though. It's some nigga shit, and that's exactly why it's got 100,000 views. My family know what it is. Man, look, let me tell you something. If I had my family, my siblings on here, man, I'll probably get 100,000 views because we funny. But I ain't trying to do that, man, because then I feel like there's a pressure there. Then not only a pressure, then you get off the topic of the knowledge. And I ain't really into that, man. Like, it's a whole bunch of other channels that want to do, that type of shit. And I ain't really trying to do all that. I want to do it, but not that way no more. I don't want to cloud chase and have a whole bunch of followers. And I'm not saying I don't want that, but I want it organically. I don't want it where motherfuckers, you got 1,000 followers, and then now, nah, man. And then your content is trash. That's what be happening too. That's why I like Professor Black Truth, the Black Authority, Boyce Watkins, Philippe, Shock Matthews, Zoe, Corey, all them, I would say their knowledge has bumped up more. The whole platform to me as a whole is just elevated. It's dope. They always coming with new and inventive shit. And that's why I watch that shit. And that's what you gotta do, man. That's why I be trying to study and shit and read as much as I can. That's why niggas be coming to me at work. My homegirl down told her to read that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's book. I was in one of the little, break rooms at the job, and I was reading my book. And when I was reading the book, she was like, damn, Warren, you stay reading. I'm like, man, I ain't got no choice. Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Hey, look. Hey, goddess, look, check this out. I'm trying not to be funny. I'm gonna be like, now, make sure if you tell somebody that they's not gonna go tell massa. Hey, man, I swear to God, man, these niggas did that. I'm telling you, I'll never forget the podcast. It was the podcast about that dude that went in that mall and was shooting. It was in El Paso, Texas, and I was just telling people to educate themselves on firearms and self-defense and all this other stuff. And them motherfuckers, I was like calling all black people. Them motherfuckers took my shit down and was like, yeah, you have earned a strike and we'll take your page. And after that, I was like, damn. So that's why I don't really be telling motherfuckers about the page like that, man. Because I'm like, man, I want these niggas getting my shit tore down. I guess I should be scared, but after that first time, and it was people in the chat that I didn't know either. And then they left messages, and the next thing you know, I got a strike. So I was like, man, I got to watch these motherfuckers, man. And I ain't even got no followers. That's why I be like, damn, they gonna strike my shit. I ain't even got no followers. But whatever, man. Hey, man, look. I'm gonna tell y'all, man, y'all enjoy y'all holiday. Be careful. Be mindful where you going. Be mindful where you at. Understand that law enforcement is not your friend. And y'all need to understand that y'all gotta be on code. And if y'all do see somebody getting hemmed up by the police, stop and pull your phones out. I'm not saying to get in the, pull your phones out, put their ass on blast, then they'll probably stop what they doing. You could probably save a black person's life by doing that. Cause I know I'll stop in a minute. Shit, if I'm at work or where, I'll stop, pull my phone out in a minute. You like, damn, what? Yep. And then all of a sudden, it changes. See, I don't have to go posting everything I do, but I'll tell you this. When I seen these brothers being apprehended and pulled over by law enforcement, I stopped and I kind of got on my car and I just kind of watched, and then they stopped. So I'm telling you right now, man, you got to understand exactly what it is. Enjoy your holiday. Don't get too fucked up. Whoever gonna go buy some weed, buy you some weed and buy you some drink and chill at the house and enjoy your time. Don't be rushing out to these damn stores and spend all your damn money. Because remember, nigga, you only get $600. So remember that. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing, man. Hey, if you're hanging around with a nigga at work and he's a Sambo, coon, tell him about the gunline boss and always trying to get a pat on the head, guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.